radio, shout it.
I kind of knew it, you know. I just because just the swag and the talent that everybody had.
As that shit started to happen as a young man growing up, what was that like when you said, "Okay, damn, nigga," because you know a lot of times we say shit is gonna happen, sis, but when it actually happens, and you saying big shit, you ain't saying, "All right, nigga, you gonna go get a job, you know, working at so and so, nigga." It's like, nah, nigga, you gonna get a record label. We gonna get on the radio. We gonna have the biggest goddamn movement out here in these streets. So when you looked up, which came first? Radio, the biggest movement in the streets, or the record label, and how did it?
Probably the movement came first. The Gangsta Grillz thing really popped off. Shout out to Cersei for that too. He actually gave me the money to fund the very first Gangsta Grillz, a birthday bash when I was an intern.
Hold up.
That ain't no secret. I thought people knew that.
I knew that, but I didn't know it was the very first guy.
Cersei gave me the money for that, for the very first joint. What happened was when I was interning at the station at Hot 107.9, well 97.5 back then.
Yeah.
I went to the birthday bash and I saw Jelly. Shout out to Jelly and Monte. They was killing it. They was killing it at Lakewood, and everybody. It was just booming. Everybody, and then every car that was leaving the concert was playing their mixtapes. I was like, damn, they killing them. So I went back and told Drum. I said, yo, Monte and Jelly are killing them. They are killing them, bro. We gotta, because I knew that's what Drum, man, his hustle was the mixtapes. Yeah. I was like, bro, like at that time, I was like the club dude, and Drum was like the underground mixtape dude. And then he was like, all right, so then, but Cersei used to kind of observe us and watch what we was doing. He'd show up at our little college. We was still doing like college parties because I was like just out of school.
Exactly. So you still get busy.
Yeah. So we still was getting like college gigs and stuff like that. So Cersei peeped what we was doing. He peeped, and I started getting booked for all that kind of stuff. And then when Birthday Bash came up, he came up to me and was like, man, he used to call us the Young Guns, you know, before their affiliates. And he was like, yo, I see what y'all doing, man. He just pulled his wad out and was like, huh. He did, right at the station, just pulled his wad out and was like, huh, man, go ahead. I want y'all, I'm investing in y'all shit. I'm investing in it. I came back like, Drum, Cersei gave me all this money. Yeah. So let's put these mixtapes together. So we printed up all these mixtapes. And Drum was like, man, we need a tape to cater to the city, cater to Atlanta. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And then we just sat in his room, in his side of the duplex. He was like, man, I gotta come up with this name. He was like, he was like, Gangsta Grillz. I said, that's it right there. Yeah. And then that's how Gangsta Grillz got formed. And it was Gangster Grillz with an ER. It wasn't Gangsta, and we didn't even put our names on it. Yeah. It was just this grill. Yeah. And you know, and I remember we put Just Like Music, Eric Sermon, because that was the hottest song out at the time. It was like 2001. Yeah. And that's not even a Southern song. Yeah. And the rest were like Southern songs. And that ended up being the best selling tape out of the at the birthday bash. That sold the most. So that inspired Drum to like keep going with it. Yeah. And then you know, people used to watch like the K-Slays and the Clues and the Green Lanterns and all them. So, you know, he really wanted to do like have like hosts and stuff like that on his tape. So then I introduced him to Lil Jon from being up at Hot with Cersei, because Lil Jon would be up there all the time. And I'm like, man, just come up to the station, you know? And then Lil Jon happened to be there. And then that's how that relationship formed. And he was like, man, I need a host. So he asked Lil Jon to come through and host the first tape. And then that's how he got that drop. Because the tape after that, I think he had a hard time trying to find a host or something like that. Yeah. So he was like, man, I don't know what to do. So he just edited, because Lil Jon did like an intro, like, hey, this is the boy Lil Jon, and this is Gangsta Grillz. So then he edited that part out and put that all through the tape. And that's how that drop got. That was an indirect. That wasn't natural.
See, this is one of the things that I loved about the affiliates. All of y'all had y'all own damn drops, but y'all drops was so damn hard that it went with the vibe of the music at the same time.
Oh, we studied that. We studied that a lot.
Break that down.
I gotta give credit to Cannon for that, because Cannon was like the technical person behind us, and he would do real dope stuff. Like when he came up with that Cannon, I actually think the Cannon was the first one. It was. I think Cannon was, and we was like, damn, that drop is crazy. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it was that Cannon, Steps Back. Yeah. And then like, so that kind of like was a real creative influence on me and Drum. And we was like, yo, we gotta get a drop that's just as good. And we always just help each other out. And then I found the trendsetter. The way I found it, I sped this voice up, and you know, and that's how trendsetter, and it did it like that, because it don't even sound like that. Damn. So and then I just stuck. It just stuck because, you know, I was like, we wanted to act like we was like superheroes or wrestlers or something. So it was like DJ Sense the trendsetter, you know.
That shit was hard.
That shit was hard. And then I was like, all right, I found a trendsetter drop, but I had a Sense drop. It just sounded stupid. It was just like Sense. It was just basic as hell. So I was like, that's just basic. So I don't know why I kept doing the trendsetter. It just sounded better over songs. Cause really it was the Cannon. It was Cannon's drop was so dope that Cannon, I was like, so we was like, yo, our shit all got, it was just being in that circle. You knew your shit had to be dope. And Dramatic had a dramatic, his thing was dramatic. He don't use it no more, but he just started sticking to that Gangsta Grillz. But at the time, it was dramatic, you know?
I'm going to be real, since sitting back as a student watching y'all, that's why I had to come with the radio shouted. Because I was like, I need me a goddamn drum in this bitch too. Right. So I was like, let me go in this motherfucker and freak my voice the best way I can and call it a damn day. But I knew I needed something that if I dropped it, it would brand me the same way that y'all dropped. Because, nigga, you hear them drops, you can see the face with that shit. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And then when you listen to them mixtapes, them damn drops kind of played like the music. It was so cohesive. Yeah. That's the best way to explain it. It just seemed cohesive with the music that y'all was putting out, and it would just add a different vibe to the music. So when you hearing that music, you hear Explosion, you hear the Cannon, you hear Dramatic, you hear Trendsetter, you be like, oh shit, nigga, I know I'm about to go on a musical journey right now. So now talk to me when you realized that the mixtape scene was blowing up and that y'all was about to start dominating.
I gotta give Drama credit for that, man. He believed in that mixtape. He believed in that mixtape shit since we was like, nigga, sophomore year. He was into that. He was selling Jim Crow Laws. He had a tape called Jim Crow Laws. Me and him came out with a tape called How the South Was Won. That might have been the precursor to Gangsta Grillz, was How the South Was Won. It just, you know, switched up. Yeah. And that was his thing, man. He was into the mixtape culture. I was like the party DJ club businessman. Kanan was the producer, and the mixtapes was Drum thing. And that was why it was like it all made sense. You know what I mean? Because everybody kind of had a little different thing, and we all influenced each other on what we was doing. All we did was we spent endless hours with each other. All I did was spend time with, that's all we did, and come up with all kinds of ideas, and we always came up with something, and somebody had something going on. That's just how we kind of supported that.
Everybody has a dream of coming to Atlanta and making it to the top of the industry, man. How the fuck was y'all able to do it, and so many other folks come down here just falling their damn face?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, man, for years, nobody really was believing in what we was talking about. They said our mixtape wasn't gonna work. They wasn't trying to book us for parties and gigs.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was a lot of that. What's funny is, and that's when I realized that the streets and the fan base is really what makes who you are. It's not the industry. It's not some people gonna get anointed, certain opportunities and stuff like that. But
and that's nepotism through some cousins type shit.
However you look at it, but that because we used to get frustrated. We used to get frustrated, like, damn, we know we dope. We know we know our ideas are dope. We knew that, but it wasn't until the fan base and the streets said, no, this is the shit we fucking with. And that kind of influenced everything else. You know what I mean? And then once that started happening, some doors started opening. Like Shade 45 calling us, Paul Rosenberg, Eminem's manager, calling us and like, yo, I love what y'all doing in the South, and flying us to New York and saying, we got on there before we even got on the station in Atlanta. Yeah. And that was confusing to me because I was already interning at the station, but I get it. It's all good. So we got that show first, and then eventually that happened. We got our own joint.